I am sharing a very good story. But this story? I know that when she got married and went to live with her husband, they were living in a very good area. It was a highly secure area. But there were some things that no one was noticing. Maybe I was also ignoring them. Their house was on one side, and across the road there were 4 or 5 houses. A family moved there. They were 3 people, and they started living in that house in Toronto. She thought that, like good neighbors, they should take something sweet and introduce themselves. She says that she went there and rang the bell. It was evening time, around 4 p.m. She rang the bell many times, but no one came outside. She thought maybe they were not home, so she returned. After 2 days, her mother-in-law asked, "Did you meet them? Go and invite them. Their house is right in front." She says she went again, but this time she changed the timing. She thought maybe they would be home in the morning, so she went at 11 a.m. No one came outside. Then one day, when the family was outside, she called out to them and greeted them. They looked at her. She says when they looked at her, their faces were completely serious, with very cold expressions. She was slightly surprised because she greeted them in a very pleasant way. They replied, "Hello," and before she could say anything more, they closed their gate and went inside. She felt strange, but thought maybe they were private people. Some people prefer privacy. At night, their house would remain completely silent. But sometimes, very late at night, when they were returning from a wedding or dinner, they noticed that the upstairs room light in that house was always on. Her husband also used to come late from work, and he would say that guests came there after midnight. No one understood anything. They never hired a servant, never hired a driver. One day, some workers came to their house asking if there was any work available. They said they were looking for work because new people had moved into the area. But no one was ever seen entering or leaving that house regularly. One night, she could not sleep. She went to the kitchen to get something. While coming downstairs, she passed by a window that faced directly toward their house. She moved the curtain slightly to check the weather. It was 1 a.m. She saw that the girl from that house was standing outside their gate. It was 1 a.m. She ignored it at first and went back upstairs. She turned on a movie to distract herself, but she still could not sleep. She went downstairs again. The girl was still standing there, in the same position, outside the small pedestrian gate, looking down, standing straight, not moving, not changing position. She became very frightened. She woke up her husband and said, "She has been standing outside for 2 hours in this cold." At 1:30 a.m., a girl standing outside in winter for hours without moving. What could have happened? Later, the gate light turned off, and the upstairs light also turned off. In the morning, she told her mother everything. They were surprised but decided to ignore it. If something serious had happened, news would have spread in the area. After some weeks, security from the residential community came and said there had been complaints. The empty plot next to their house had strange waste thrown inside it. Sometimes cereal scattered, sometimes strange pieces of chicken with only tongues. Security said complaints came from the house across, saying someone was throwing things from this side. She said it was impossible. They would never do such a thing. Security also mentioned that many people were visiting that house very late at night, and they were not local residents. People complained about a strange smell coming from that house. At first, they thought it was from the empty plot, but the smell seemed different. Because it was a gated community in Vancouver, frequent late-night outsider visits seemed suspicious. Some of the visitors appeared influential, driving large, expensive vehicles. One day, security stood outside their house, rang the bell many times, but no one answered. Finally, they entered. Later that night, she was walking her dog when she saw 10 to 12 men and women coming out of that house, standing outside the gate as if waiting for a car. She greeted them. They looked at her but did not respond properly. After a few days, security came again, this time with female officers. They entered the house. After searching the entire house, they said there was only one woman inside. Later, someone knocked again. A young girl, around 14 or 15 years old, opened the door. She said she was just an employee. She said the family had already left and vacated the house. Everyone was shocked. When did they leave? No one saw them moving. No moving truck, no activity. And they never had an employee before. The girl said the house had been vacated the previous day. They left many things behind. When the house was checked, there was a very strange smell. It was difficult to explain, like something had been burned. Under the bed and on the floor, there were old blue stains. Very strong smell. Very strange. No one could understand what was happening in that house. They never talked to anyone, never socialized. When the owner was asked, he said he had verified their identification and documents before renting. Rent always came through a bank account. Police took those details to investigate. Everything was very strange. No one could understand what activities they were involved in. Magic? Something bigger? No one knew. Months later, her husband's friend in security mentioned that similar families had rented 10 to 12 houses in that same residential area in Calgary. They lived quietly like this. Whenever authorities tried to investigate deeply, higher-level orders would come to step back. Security was told not to create unnecessary problems. When such instructions come from above, they have to step back. Otherwise, trouble can come upon them. She says she heard many such things, and even she was disturbed by it.